And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Songs of Six, where we're going to let the game play slowly while I do this, but we're going to do some math here. And the bits of math that we're going to do here is we're going to figure out roughly how long it takes for our guys to hit adulthood, and roughly how long they live, which I believe is in the properties here. Lifespan. So our guys, in theory, live to about 150 days. Or actually, the game implies 150 years. I'm willing to believe it's 150 years. Our species lives 50% longer than average, apparently. So yeah, that gives us an idea how long our guys are going to live. So it's 150 times 16, if that's the case. How long does it take for them to reach adulthood? Find that as well, that'd be nice. Might be a different menu for that one. Well, apparently I've got some corpses out and about that people haven't been cleaning up. Adult at day 80, so it takes them 5 years of their 150-year lifespan to hit adulthood. And children stay in the hatchery until they hit adulthood, so it's going to be 5 years per child per slot. So that means if we do 15 divided by 5, or 150 divided by 5, so we get about an average support per spot of about 30. Okay. I was wondering how I was going to get out of that menu. That worked at least. Yeah, we apparently have a corpse somewhere. Which mass grave is overflowing? Oh, well that possibly explains it. We've got a city center with no grave. Yeah, the graves have a maximum range apparently. So I'm going to get another grave over here. Slap a grate over there. That'll probably provide enough. And then we'll start building our procreation. So, hatchery, costs furniture and fabric, and optionally some wood. And then it consumes fish to make children, effectively. So I'm thinking of putting it roughly here. Okay, so it's about 2 employees. Well, yeah, 2 employees for 6. So that's decent, although we might not have... Okay, so I think they can walk... Oh, I gotta remember. Yeah, I am realizing what I just forgot. So you'll notice, carpet must not block other item. Carpets, my understanding is correct, and it might not be. Most of the time, people can travel over carpets. So there's no problem having a carpet blocking the path. Although maybe these carpets are different than other carpets. These carpets are different than other carpets. Okay. Apparently the carpets where the children are playing are not walkable tiles. Walkable tiles, and this is an important thing to note, walkable tiles will block placement. Yeah, walkable tiles block placement. Okay, so for... I need 1 tile of carpet for every 4 children, apparently. We got 400 people. Okay. So I'm going to try to figure out how I can get these in here in a way that sort of maximizes how much we can shove in here. Make it a little... Oh, actually, I suppose... Click, 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 click... Oh, so that's not that bad. I can make this work real well. Okay. There we go. So that would support 24 clutches for 8 employees working there. And we can do like double door at either end to make it great access. Yeah, okay. And it was 28, and we worked out that it's like 30 each. So to sustain our population, we've probably, say, build like 3 of those. We'll have to bring some more figure out how to get some more workers in here to keep everything maintained doing that, but yeah, we'll probably build like 3 of those. And it should actually provide a slight, gentle upward pressure on population. Because that should be enough for actually about 2,400 people. If everyone's being born and dying inside the city. So with that in, do we have... Didn't want to copy that. We have decent graveyard coverage. Yeah, okay, so the bits where people are living has graveyard coverage. Okay. There should be no longer any bodies. Well, unless they're out in the fields, or on the islands here. Be fewer bodies out and about. Mild weather. I'm gonna do a dirt road. I should actually do a dirt road. Across the island like so. Yeah, and I guess I should put a graveyard in case someone dies in the fields and they just don't want to haul them that far. That didn't actually place it. Let me double check the coverage we've got. The easiest way to do that is find one of my graveyards. Let's see, or one of my mass graves. People don't actually care what type of grave it is. Where is the one over here? Or do they just travel across the lake? So there it is. Okay. Yeah, so it's got pretty good long range. We'll shove it over here on the map border. Unless some troops happen, unless we allow a city or fight to happen in the city and the troops literally fight on it, it shouldn't get too damaged. Yep, and now we have this making children. This is costing fish, but we have plenty of fish income. That's not the concern. It also is going to cost some fabric to maintain, and obviously it's taking up workers, and you do need those workers to work it, otherwise bad things happen. unintended children do not have a high life expectancy, let's just say. Okay, so now we have pretty good graveyard coverage in most of the main working areas. There's a void over here, which is affecting part of a fishery, but that'll be fine. Don't die in that part of the fishery. Have we got that knowledge in? We have got that knowledge in, so we can cash that in for schooling, which is what I wanted to get that for. I haven't played around with the admin yet. The admin does cost paper, so that's why I haven't done anything of that, because we haven't built a paper maker yet. Trains emissaries. Boosts the whole city. Oh, we need 3,500 employees, so that's way off in the future. School is not, though. Okay. Our people do like some indoctrination, so we're going to mix some indoctrination into... Oh, it defaults indoctrination. Can I do a mix? Oh, our people don't even like education. So I can indoctrinate them, which will make them happy. Although that will make them worse at the library. Because of course it does. I was hoping there'd be a slider here so I could do a balance of indoctrination and education. Not just indoctrinate everyone, but we're indoctrinating people here, apparently. Because right now we need more fulfillment. Yeah, that's how I'm going to justify that to myself. I'm going to be kicking myself probably when that hits the libraries later on, but... Let's put this on this side of the road. That increases capacity, that increases quality, that increases quality. These carpets are actually walkable, whereas the ones the children play on are not, apparently. Okay. Okay, this is hopefully a bigger building than I need. And we'll shrink it in a bit, but that's sort of max out. So, what I've got... Six, 12, 24... What was the thing? 28? Anyway. Or miscounting, that is... No, that's 7. Okay. Yeah, those are 24 each, so... At least they look 24 each. I might be doing the math wrong. Put that in my calculator wrong. I can just check the calculator, can I? Oh, maybe I was doing the math on the calculator wrong. Okay. Anyway. So if it's 24 each... Well, that probably means I need a lot of teaching capacity. I want to teach everyone. Okay, so if I want to do... Oops. Don't speed it up. Really contemplating what I'm doing on the current speed. So each of these is going to fulfill 6 services. So that's enough for, like, one building. Two building. In fact, that probably means I want it even longer, so we can fit a little bit more. out the back. So massive classroom there. I'm gonna have to put some support pillars in, otherwise we'll have some problems with no support in the middle of the room. And then we go carpets to boost the efficiency, although it looks like the carpets aren't very big of a buff. So I might need more shelving to realistically hit the cap. Just gonna fill up every square in here, and I don't think it's gonna be enough. The shelves are definitely more space efficient. Although sometimes because you need that walking space, right? Like that's the minimum walking space. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So you might as well, if you gotta have that walking space, you might as well fill it with carpets. Got the fabric. Okay, so we need to make the building bigger. Oops. And this is why we're playing on slow speed, because we've got stuff that we need to progress that doesn't necessarily require me microing. But at the same time, we don't... this, as you can see, this can be quite time-consuming when you're trying to functionally design a optimized building. There we go! Every last square in that building is used, and that is a big enough building to meet all the needs for the hatchery across the street. One grand school. And we'll need wood, because apparently we're out of wood. And the furniture makers would like some wood to keep working. If we eat all their produced furniture, building this building. Oh, and I'm gonna need some paper. So I need to make some paper. That actually affect my fish output. It said the rain stopped. Although it hasn't given us an event, it hasn't affected the food output. Okay, so I'm gonna have to sort some paper out. Do I have the technology to make paper? Yes. Let's get a paper maker then. We're gonna need that for other buildings. And some minimal paper making is not going to be too painful, I think. Building's probably bigger than I need. Let's shrink the building a little bit. Here we go. Nice sturdy building. Employs 16 people. I don't think we need necessarily that much paper making. Although, I need a lot of it up front, so I might import the missing amount in the short term. Got enough herbs stockpiled up for the moment. We're not producing enough, but we've got enough stockpiled for the moment. Let's swap you over to paper temporarily. Import paper. So we can get the school built. And then we'll try to produce our own supply of it, and we'll swap it back to herbs. We'll probably want to produce our own supply of herbs at some point, but one thing at a time. Oh, and of course to import some herbs, I need it stored, or import some paper, I need it stored somewhere. Because it's importing some percentage of our stockpile, right? So I'm trying to remember where all my warehouses are, and if I have any in the neighborhood. Yes, we have one in the neighborhood. We have this one. It's got empty crates. Conveniently empty crates. Okay. Take some paper crates. You're waiting on furniture and paper. Although, interestingly, you're waiting for the paper, even though the rest could be delivered. I'm surprised. That's what you're waiting for. And then, of course, we'll put this reasonably high. So paper should be inbound. Oh, because the paper can't be delivered, it's got all the people on odd jobs chopping down the forest. That's what's going on. So until they're done chopping the forest down, they're going to focus on chopping the forest down. That's what's going on. So, waiting for the forest to be eliminated. It's most of the way chopped down. So they should be swapping back over soon. I suppose I'm over chopping at the moment, so it's actually a lot of it's actually going to exports. But we were almost empty, so I overreacted. Once they're done clearing, they'll start shipping in the product. I'm surprised the paper hasn't arrived. I 36 importable. So it should be being imported. Although it might take its sweet time. Okay, here's some of the paper. Oh, the other thing we were building was the paper maker, so we just had a bunch of people go run off to work the paper maker. Yeah, we're making 11 paper. That's probably more than this is going to take in maintenance. So it'll be a little bit slow to build because we're accelerating with the imports, but we're not necessarily importing enough to build the whole thing in one go. Oh, and I probably have a warehouse near the paper maker, right? Yes, this warehouse has some empty crates, so we'll give you a paper crate. And I should probably improve the roads in the local area. And by improve the roads, I mean actually put some in. I should probably let some more people into the town. Yeah, he lets more people into the town. Although to do that, I should upgrade some of the houses, because we've got a housing shortage. Or I've got to build more houses, one of the two. And upgrading houses doesn't require workforce, whereas building them does. So we're going to go with some upgrades. Actually, I should do the upgrades near the clay mine, because that's probably where we want to put more people in the long run. Okay, that gave us 50 more housing. Let's take this up to 2,000. That will slowly help with the problem. And the way that is going to help is by slowly allowing people to move into the town. I suppose I should upgrade. We built a new warehouse for rations and other stuff. Rations and other stuff. Oh, we've already upgraded them. Although I have the stuff to upgrade again, I'll upgrade it again. So that way we can store more rations. We are hit 20 days of food, so if food continue, or food stockpiling continues, I should start to increase, well, except rations. I don't think we have any of the food stalls set, if I set them right, to accept rations, but they're hungry enough that they need rations. They can go to the warehouse to get rations. But yeah, if we start seeing the food continue to stockpile up more, we might start distributing more again. we now have many children. Many 11 and 12-year-old, well, 12-day-old children. A year in this game is 16 days, so we presumably want to get the school going relatively soon so that we can start educating them to be patriotic citizens, because apparently our citizens do not appreciate the finer things in life. Not pro-education, they're pro-indoctrination. So I may have overbuilt this under the presumption that I'm going to educate them instead of indoctrinate them, because indoctrination's 5 times faster than education. But I suppose if we can improve everyone's happiness enough, we might swap from indoctrination to education. Because I think education, well, there's no drawbacks to education, other than it takes a lot of time and people don't like it. Alright, if we come in here, we can look at access. Where's the education one? There we go. Yeah, education. Right now we have everyone ticked to go school. Education provides a big bunch of bonuses with no drawbacks. Indoctrinate. Well, the drawback, of course, is that they like not being educated. +1 fulfillment. Whereas indoctrination is at max is 1.5 fulfillment. And is a lot of bonuses, a lot of weak bonuses, mostly to raw resource production, and a drawback to libraries. So we will be potentially filling it in the libraries, but meantime, we'll get school going. And this consumes more paper than I was expecting. I did not realize it was also paper per day. So the base learning rate is 100 days. I was told indoctrination was 5 times more than normal, speed-wise. Oh, interesting. So here I can designate it as one or the other, and then here I can designate it separately. Okay. Well, we want to indoctrinate for the moment. And apparently I need more paper production. I did not make enough paper production. I don't want to be importing it if we can help it. Yeah, just need double paper production. That's easy enough to do. Alright, that's just do copy-paste of this again. But yeah, once we got that done, we should be making enough paper. I can turn this import back to herbs. $72, $78. Yeah, so I've got the right number of education. Oh, and apparently I'm not allowed to have more than a third of the city be children. Fair enough. Wasn't thinking that far ahead where it's like, yeah, no, we'll run lots of children. It's like, no, it's one enough that we are growing. Yeah, this should be enough service. So all the children should be able to go to the school and be indoctrinated. No, we make them town at the moment. Assuming we can provide it with paper. Okay, so we're having a little bit of a struggle because there isn't enough paper. Let's give you another pull. Let's tell you can pull from there, specifically to pull the paper. And that should help slowly, both with native, so we're going to get another, well, the growth is going to help native, right? As more and more of the population is native, we'll get more and more fulfillment from native. And then we should get some indoctrination coming in soon. And then on the world map, I think this city wasn't completely upgraded yet. Because we've been procrastinating to come back to it. Oh no, it is. Well, sort of. Yeah, that's not enough. Make a big difference, so no. Could grab the road, we don't need the road. Oh, the bank is just flat money. Right, so yeah, okay, so the bank, if I just need money, the bank is better than workers, just raw workers. Do I need the army here to keep these guys happy? Maybe. The solution to that would be to add something like entertainment. Although I can't run the bank and entertainment, because I only have run the bank, there's nothing else that can be built. You know, I think we will run the bank here. Especially we're keeping the army here for the moment. And then we can turn the taxes up monstrously. I could run a bank there. Or I can run a happiness bonus building. And turn the taxes up. Oh, and we're pots. So if I would crank this, what's that doing to the happiness? Having the happiness from other sources. Oh, and you're actually a bit grumpy just because of population, so without a positive, we're probably not better off raising tax rate. Okay. We'll just raise tax, or sort of raise taxes in places like that by adding the bank. Here we have the army deployed, so I could... If we're occupying them with the army, I might as well collect taxes from them. We're with an army. And then here we can't run anything with just a 1. And then you're actually proper grumpy. I am making enough rations. I could probably raise a small garrison force just to keep them happy. Or we can give them a building to keep them happy. Probably keep it simple and give them a building. Give them some stands. give them some time to improve in happiness now that we've provided the happy building. Get their opinion back up. Then we'll come back around and probably raise taxes on them. We're providing a service, now we expect you to pay some taxes. Okay, back to the city. And we're waiting for that papermaker to finish. Papermaker is in fact finished, so we swap you back to herbs. Because I don't need to import paper anymore in theory. I could build an emissary. I guess trains emissaries, we can send them off. And I think that provides, on the global map, we can send them to places to get opinion buffs. Which I could also technically send to other places in the Empire. If I was worried about the support. And then I think we can send it to other nations to get an opinion buff. Opinion rivalry total. Okay, so they're considering me rivals at this point, even though they're colleagues. We're colleagues with them. It's gotten even more expensive. If it's acceptable. I think you have to get the... To reliably do it, I think the opinion change is to leave you positive opinion with them. Base value, chivalry, nearness. Oh, so that's what it's flowing to? Oh, and that's attack chance, so... My opinion is boasting that. Okay. What's the thing about? The thing about? Yeah, it's finished building that embassy. I'm not sure how valuable the embassy is. It wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing to build around the nobles. Say we put an embassy out back. Oh, these guys okay. This is something that, assuming it's not super expensive to operate, we can get a pretty big one going here. Yeah, I think we can do a pretty big one here. And still have it be very productive. Okay, so... Oh, apparently what I was saying about earlier were locations that are walkable block things. Apparently that carpet is checked correctly. Maybe a little bit higher density than that. Oops. Yeah, need a little bit higher density than that. First, what I could do. That's as big as that goes. Let's maybe make the workstations a little smaller. Turn the game speed down so we're not letting so much time pass while we're busy fussing with this. Okay, so that's hopefully overkill. For emissaries. I don't know how they work, so I'm either overbuilding it or underbuilding it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm either overbuilding or underbuilding. So we're going to build an emissary out back of our nobles here. An embassy, which apparently produces a bunch of emissaries. When I'm shutting short uncut stone. Maybe an argument to import the cut stone. Got a lot of money. Yeah, I buy my internal argument on buying some cut stone. We'll swap this herbs over to cut stone again. I need to keep the herbs up, but I don't need it like it's a seasonal harvest, right? So we don't make enough every harvest, but as long as we have enough in stockpile to do what we want and swap back before we run out, that's fine. Oh, we're going to lumber reasonably fast. Deforest another small area. At some point I need to... So I don't have to keep checking up on the wood. Probably want to produce a little bit more to offset the maintenance and upkeep of stuff. It is very easy to make, as you can see. You just send the odd jobbers off and chop down a bit of forest and the problem's solved. But workload is low. You're having problems, I think, with not getting enough of your paper. Although you say you consume paper. But over here it says none. Accident has occurred, okay. The load should be 100%. Surprised it's saying the workload is low. I think the workload issue is a complaint about it maybe not receiving its paper. To try to help with that, we're going to put a Oler right outside the front door. Set to gathering paper. And it has a sufficient pull range, so I shouldn't have to tell it specifically where to pull from. Yeah, you're gonna provide. You're gonna take 22 workers in, and oh, it's got various buffs. I can give the embassy jewels or fabric to work more effective. Although right now the yield is already 22 diplomacy points. Not sure if that's a lot or, well, it's presumably not a lot. Like it's maybe more than enough to negotiate with one person effectively. So we got no universities. We do have schools. And it is a either or situation, at least at a level, it appears. So it might be that you can indoctrinate them at the school and then educate them at the university or something. And you can do it also on a race level, or race type, right? So you're running like a multiracial place. You can say, have the Kratonians be indoctrinated and the humans be educated. So the humans who are better at working in the lab, and presumably will automatically be assigned to the lab, or the lab and the library, will benefit from the education, whereas the Kratonians who are mostly working in the fields are getting the benefits to indoctrination has for the fields. We're running one race, so we gotta pick the best for us. I suppose now that we, in theory, have some Diplo points, I can potentially try to use some of those Diplo points. So I got 3 emissary points. I can either flatter, sabotage, or technically send them to be assassinated. Not sure. Well, I suppose the answer to why you might want them assassinated is if they don't like you. Right. So this person does not value chivalry. So that's not helping with the opinion of them. All sorts of different bonuses. Okay. Titles, events, vassal tribute, vassalage, liberation, assassination, sabotage, flattery. So I get a +1 opinion from flattery. Generosity. So they've got reduced opinion of generosity. We haven't actually been generous with them. Raiding, peace treaty, joint wars. Okay, let's send some to use some of our emissary points to flatter them. And I suppose okay, so there's technically a penalty once you've spent more than you have. Don't do that. Just send what I got. That'll be a point. That technically is getting like a quarter what I can get through pure flattery. Which is a good start. And we could see what their heirs are and what they care about. I'm not sure if we need to care about the happiness of the not head of state. So we can see the heirs. But I think the head of state is the one who determines the realm's opinion of you. I have a bunch of ore. Maybe let's actually sort of partially as a trade thing. Let's say, hey, I don't need a bunch of various resources, and we don't export them. So this is the way to get them out of the country without having to worry too much about them. So we're going to give you a bunch of ore. And we're going to give you a bunch of opium. Yeah, we're going to start with that. That's not much, that's 0.02, but we'll give that to them. Generosity in theory goes up to 100. Whereas a lot of the other stuff we're working with are like, yeah, that's like up to 1. Flattery, actually flattery goes up to 10, so you can get quite a bit through flattery. I'm gonna get the opinion up to 6 before I can get an alliance. which in theory drops... We got colleagues with them. It should drop the tariff more. Yeah, because I think eventually we want to work towards uniting with them, but that's quite a way off, unless we're really rich. Native population will slowly grow. It does take, what we worked out, our guys are gestation period to adulthood of like 5 years, so every 5 years this will tick up by about 3%. And I suppose we could use that to work out what the... portion of the population is to get the full 1.5. Invert that, so we're getting 0.05 for 3% is what that's telling us. Okay, yeah, so we get the full 1.5 at everyone's native. Is I think what that math was doing there. The Underground of 6 has been quite peaceful for some time now. The reason for this is not known. I've agreed to a truce underground to make use of the ability to range further beneath. Minerals are going to be cheaper for some time now. Okay. So, basically you're just telling me that the clay that I'm exporting is worth less now. Game apparently deciding I can't have nice things, yes. And you can see we got the big demographic, 72 people between the ages of 0 and 4. We'll see how well that does at keeping our population young and spry going forward. And of course, indoctrination takes a while, so we're not getting any bonus from indoctrination yet. To be fair, this is probably also based on the number of people who are indoctrinated. So the children aren't indoctrinated yet. It takes them 100 days, although it's 5 times faster, so it's supposed to be 20 days for indoctrination, if I'm understanding it in here. Right, base learning rate's 100 days. Indoctrination is 5 times the speed, so it should take 5 days of the children going to school to become indoctrinated. Should take them 20 days. They take 5 years to get to full age, which is 80 days. So 20 should fit in there. In fact, that tells you something else, right? Is if you're going for education, you will need universities to get maximum education, because they're not going to be fully educated by the time they leave school if you're doing normal education. Because their education is not that fast. Oh, we're back to full rations. Set you to stone, stop being on stone, go back to herbs, or we run out of herbs. Because in theory we're making positive stone, cut stone. Let's obviously upgrade the ration storage building. That one's maxed. The other one, that's not a storage. That's a storage. So we can store more rations. I should start distributing a little bit more food, because we're making enough food. Brings us down to 18 days, which is probably fine. So we'll trade fulfillment from days of food to fulfillment on food servings. So we get 1.5 fulfillment for having 20 days of food, or up to 6 fulfillment from providing, I think, the full 5 servings. So overfeeding your citizens make your citizens real happy. It also provides a health bonus. Which if you have high enough health, that generally mitigates people needing to use the hospital, which is good. I suppose while I'm waiting for time to pass, what is... Oh, people also want more eggs stored. Let's go find the egg storages and upgrade them. We even want even more statues. Or better statues. Can I... Is there an upgrade for the statues? It's not a statue. It's very much moving. Yeah, as far as I can tell, the statues are not upgradable. They can be bigger or smaller, but they cannot be upgraded. Oh, and the bigger ones appear to just be preferred. So it's maybe one of those situations if I went small and I really should have just gone big. In the high traffic areas. All my warehouses at least upgraded the first upgrade. You're not automated to have your stuff expand. So we'll let you have whatever workers you need. Yeah, they only got the basic first upgrade. And the more expensive upgrade costs cut stone, but we do have some cut stone, so I may take the opportunity in a couple places to enable more storage. Oh, there's right now. This one just only holds tools and furniture anyway. This is my very limited tool storage. We'll put some ration storage here as well. We've got open storage here, so let's put some rations here as well. And probably more pots. We've got more storage here. I don't necessarily want rations here. This is sort of an industrial storage. How much would it be to cost upgrade that one? Not too bad. You only store fish. And you know what? I think that's fine. You don't need to have the high density upgrade there. You only store fish. That's probably fine. You've got a bunch of open crates. Like a bunch of different stuff here. At the moment we just have clothing set up here. You know what? Put some rations here. And a little bit of the other foodstuffs. Oh, and I don't have enough furniture at the moment. I need to wait for the furniture stockpile to fill up again. And furniture is currently negative. Okay, I need to build more furniture. I need more furniture makers. So where is... There's a carpenter. So we'll just do copy paste you. And then we've been some time for the ambassadors to generate some diplomacy points. Let's pop into our friendly neighbor. And yeah, we got 12 more embassy points. Let's spend those. And we gotta get that up to 6 to become allies. It's going to take 20-something employees? 20-something employees, yeah. So in theory, we'll need more people to actually work things. Reasonably soon. Oh, I'm realizing I've probably let this part go on a little too long. We are going to probably plan on recording one more part today. We've got the school system up and running. We haven't had anyone age out of being children yet. Or, frankly, finish their indoctrination. So we haven't really benefited yet from having the schooling system in. But that will be coming. This is where we'll be putting the part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll have a part up for you tomorrow. We are going to record another part tonight. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to be taking a short break to get up, and I'm going to replace my drink, although I'm going to replace it with a can of soda, so it should be a slightly short break. So until the next bit, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next bit, and bye for now.